Hello everybody, this is BKC back at Planet Explorers. Today I want to go over, I'm having problems in my other game. I got Chen to the cave and basically he locked up like he always does. I had to start a new game. I basically rushed through as much as I could. Since everything's breaking so bad for me, and it's mostly to do with the NPCs, I basically did the bare minimum I have to do to get through the story. I did pick up this shotgun, and I've been playing around with the guns in the game. I went into just build mode to try to play with the guns, and same as I did the same when they released the shotgun, and I really wasn't too impressed with it. It had terrible accuracy. It was terribly weak, and it just didn't feel satisfying. And I don't think it had a spec on it at that time. And but I noticed that Alfonso had it. Let me go ahead and pull this out. For some reason, you can't hover over something, and you know, something's not right with the. There's a lot of things not right with the quick bar. You know, when something's in the quick bar, only the, you know, which is fine. It doesn't. Nobody says it has to show you that info, but it would be nice to be able to compare items without having to pull them out your quick bar. This thing has an attack of 270. That's pretty deadly. It basically just comes down to how well does it feel, and after playing with it a while, it feels pretty good. It does have some problems though, and I'll show you what they are. One, it's not a really good ranged weapon. See, I'm doing damage, but some of the spread has been you know, great. The spread at distance is not, you know, as good as it probably. I don't know if this has an actual true spread on it, but it just feels like but I mean, the chunks of damage coming off of these creatures feels about right. It feels good. It feels like what a shotgun should do. Of course, the creatures are not really fighting back or whatever. They're not. I don't know, did that fail the quest because she didn't get up? Get up. Okay, good. There's another one. Oh, there he is. One problem with the gun is, let me pull up my tab here. I gotta put my gun back up. One problem is the indicator. We need to work on the indicator right here. For much as you use bullets and all that stuff, and a game based around collecting resources and having this massive inventory, you know, see, I only got 96 bullets right now. The thing doesn't tell me that. It did before. It told you how many bullets you had because there was no reload function. I don't. Let me see if I pull the gun out and reload it manually. Yeah, I can reload it manually. Okay. I don't know if they plan on adding different clips to put on different guns. I don't really see a point to make like a 6 clip, a 12 clip, a 4, you know, a 24 clip, because everybody would just use the 24 clip. Everybody would build everything with the clip. But if different guns have different amounts, I don't need to know that there's 6 out of 6. This 6 is always gonna be, if this is always gonna be 6, or even if it does change 12 out of 12, you know, 24 out of 24, I don't need to know. I don't need this to always be there to let me know that there's 6. When I reload, this 6 will let me know that I have 6 available. And then so this 6 right here becomes redundant. 6 over 6 it's redundant. You know, so what we could replace that with is it should be 6 of 96. How many bullets I have in inventory. The first indicator tells me how many bullets I have in the clip currently, and will count down accordingly. And then when it gets to 0, it would be nice, since this text is so small, until we get a scalable UI, movable, scalable text, all that stuff like that. If it's still in the works, it'd be nice if it was a slightly, maybe thicker, you know, font, a slightly thicker font, you know, like this one down here, bigger and thicker. They have this tendency to use this little bitty tiny thin font that which is on this stuff is pretty good because it's only like probably 1 pixel thick. But when we get up to this my quick bar, my information should be a little bit more readily available to me and easier to read. That's the purpose of this. So it'd be nice if this was a slightly bigger font. It would be 6 out of the 96 I have in inventory, and then for every shot I fired off, this would, you know, all it gotta do is basically remove this and tie this back into inventory. And it's not impossible. They had it like that before. So, you know, get rid of this 6, put it in inventory, and then it'd be nice if instead of going down to 0, and a lot of games are guilty of this, and I don't know why they're going to do it. You know, the purpose of this HUD is information, you know, and they'll let you go 0 in your gun and reholster your gun. No indication, no warning, no nothing. This is a sci-fi. We've got a replicator in our pocket that could 3D print anything, but I don't have anything, you know. It's supposed to be like a personal assistant. It's supposed to be helping me out, giving me information, and it can't tell me, hey, you holstered your gun with no shot, so when next time something attacks you, you pull your gun out, and then you got to wait for a reload animation. It happens to me just all the time in other games where I just forget to reload. It would be nice if instead of 0, the 0 would turn to an R for reload to remind you to reload the gun. And then, because I mean, the UI, when you have the gun out, it stays there. So it would be nice that it would remind you to reload, you know, so it would be R out of 96 bullets. Or make the 0 red, like make it a bigger font, put a little glow, like a little, like it was an LED indicator on my personal computer telling me, reminding me to reload, so I don't holster my gun with no bullets in it. That's pretty much, I mean, almost every, where did he go? Wow, he's taking a beating. Yeah, the gun, it says it's 270, so I would imagine it's 10 pellets, and they do 10 pellets, and they probably do, crap, quick bar, 4. It's probably 10 pellets at 27 damage a pellet. And the way the game works is that certain creatures have a resistance, so he's only receiving 19 per. But the shotgun feels good, and to be honest, if they made every gun in the game feel like this, it wouldn't be so bad for a player that had to play the game from start to finish and didn't want to mess with the editor. I mean, plenty of games like Crisis and all that stuff. There's only 5 guns in the game. You got you got a generic sniper rifle, you got a generic assault rifle, a generic SMG, a generic and there's no difference between them. Other games like Borderlands and all that have guns that vary vastly, and I'm kind of like, where are we going with this one's guns? Because till the way the combat system is, if it doesn't improve vastly, I was a melee player, but I'm gonna be switching to guns more often because they actually feel good. The shotgun actually feels good. I actually like the reload mechanic. I like the when I stick it in this creature's face, big huge chunks of damage come off. So I'm just confused that they took all of my different types of guns away from, basically I could make a gun any way I wanted it to look, and then squeeze 4 barrels in it and get maximum damage, and then took those away. But they got to give me something for it and not break it for everybody else who doesn't want to mess in the grate. Arturo's broken now. One problem with the shotgun, I noticed it with the bow too. It's with swords, custom or not, I can right and left mouse button, standing still, no problem. I can do a standard run and draw and put away my thing. I can hold down shift and put away and pull out my sword. That's, across the board I can do everything with a sword. But then when it comes to combat, I can't do anything. I'm basically locked into this animation. I can't move. I can't. It's just a hack and slash button presser. So there's functionality. The swords work right, but then there's no combat for them. When you go to the bow and the arrow, I can pull it out, and I could put it back up. I could run, pull it out, and put it back in. But even though it slows me down, and then sprint, I can't do anything. I can't draw it, or I can't. But I could pull it out and sprint, and then I can. No, I can't even put it back up. So the bow you can't even put back up. So the bow you can't put up or pull out while sprinting. And then when you pull out the shotgun, I can pull it out, put it back up. I can run. I can pull it out, put it back up. I can sprint. I can't pull it out. But if I pull it out and I run, I could put it back up. That's 3 different weapons with 3 different rules, 3 different functionalities. That's if it's a mechanic, that's fine. But it needs to be spelled out that there's no reason you couldn't reholster all your everything when sprinting. If it's a mechanic that you can't pull it out, but it doesn't make no sense why the bow can't be drawn or put up while running, but then the shotgun can be put up but not pulled out while sprinting. There's no consistency there. Also, let me see. I don't know. I didn't test the bow. When I got the bow out, yeah, you can't with the bow and the shotgun. You can't double tap and dive. There's no functionality there. You basically You know, to me the speed feels a little locked down. And then the character's upper body's like really, you know, it's just everything's stiff. And without the ability to roll. And, you know, I like this shotgun. Put it in something's face and you pull the trigger and a big hunk of health goes. But if it doesn't die and it's charging me, you know, a lot of the creatures charge. I would like the ability to roll out the way or do something like that. You do that and gunplay would be actually fun again. Whoa, is this all they do now? You can't, you don't get their clothes anymore to sell? Okay, whatever. Arturo's not here though, so I'm probably screwed on this mission like always.